Trying to do this. Always show the parts when I'm opening the box up and get this open real quick so that we can see that what I have here is definitely not ever been opened before, and then this is the only time I really even get a chance to do or mess with these figures as much. I guess I could take more time to do it, but you know, we as adults sometimes we find other things to do a little quicker. But it's welcome back. I'm glad to be back doing these a little bit more and take some time to look at this latest area. It took a while for us to get this one, and I think maybe on this video I have an opening to where you show the aerial bots, and we don't have a lot of we only have one left in this series. I know on the Stunticon team we have a lot more left, and in this series, we don't have many left at all, just one. And I'm hearing good things about this bot. It's kind of just how it looks in the box coming out, missing the face here. This is kind of rotated a little bit. I don't think nothing's broke, hopefully. I'll just kind of put some things back together. I'll clean it up. But it did take a while to get this guy. We'll talk more about him in a second. The box as usual looks great. I always thought of Fireflight as more like a, what do you call it? Pretty much like lightheaded, like a blonde. The male version of a blonde. He just didn't seemed like he couldn't take things, you know, catch on to things quicker than others. The very few times we did see him in G1 or, you know, season 2 or season 3. I found his face just hovering at the bottom of the box package. Put that on real quick. I think I like his, I hope he has a happy face here. I think I would like that better. If anything, sometimes they do get it wrong when it comes to faces, because I don't think of him as one that has a very serious face on all the time. Sure, he can fight. Every Autobot or Decepticon could come with a serious face. I'll get that off later. But I think of him as a happy face. He still needs a happy, lightheaded face. They said he's reconnaissance. You'd be disappointed. Viper is more preoccupied with beautiful landscapes. You'd be disappointed, right? He's just lightheaded. When he is focused, Viper can be effective. Okay, so he doesn't focus very well. You know, he can stay off focus. But I'm gonna try to get these in line so I can actually get him to stand. I think they come, you know, as usual, FansToys, well protected. And hearing good things about this figure. I'll skip ahead and say I've heard that he's lighter because he's going to be the arm joint of Superion. We'll see how that comes about when Slingshot gets released. And I'll bring his brothers and his fellow ones back as soon as I didn't want to spoil his intro. So I wanted to see him for who he was right offhand. I think with this, I'm sure something comes up and covers this. I can't see that being staying out in the open. But yeah. I don't think I got him perfect, but I think I got him to where I can get him to stand. And definitely I'll bring his brothers out here. I like him so far. I think these are actually, sometimes I think the figures are maybe a little too heavy, maybe a little too much die cast. I mean, I know that sounds like a contradiction to what I usually say anyway, but because you want to feel like you bought something worth buying, but the die cast is not always a proof of that. There's some figures, and maybe even one I'm getting ready to review coming up that may not have a lot of die cast, but yet I'll get that straightened up later too. But yet they feel like masterpieces, and you know that the plastic and the materials there and the way they put them together, the build is still superior than most. So to me, that's the ideal masterpiece. But yeah, so far, it's nice to see they're on their way to getting this team complete. Soon I'll have the others out here. Maybe we'll compare a few weights just real quick. Everybody talks about how he's a little lighter. Yeah, definitely probably a little lighter, but he still feels solid. I mean, and the look of him is what's important. I might throw a pic up there. This is Fireflight. This is the 4th member we have received from FansToys. So I'll get his Zeta version down too to look at him as we just look at the team and do some weight and I guess look comparisons with the Zeta version. That's the only other version I have, and I was very pleased with the Zeta version. Everybody says, "Oh, bad bots." Well, first of all, of course, the combiner is probably second to none right now still, and the bots weren't so bad. They were solid to me. They may not, the fingers and stuff weren't perfect, but they did have individual articulated fingers. So we'll see that all coming up. So stay tuned. Now I'm back, and I got his backpack pushed up. I realized you had to, get it lined up just right to clip it in. And as I put his comrades, his brothers, here on the table, I realized they are much heavier. So it's a good test to weight. I still don't like the face plates. I mean, I don't usually nitpick like this, but I still feel like, and we're going to talk about this. I got a perfect example to go a little further into this just real quick, a little bit later, about the face plate. He should have a smiling face. He should have a smiling face because these face plates don't really fit his personality as far as what I remember and what I've seen of him. But let's compare some weights here. He weighs, not that, this is a big deal, but it's something I wanted to do. I always go in ounces and pounds. I don't do the grams thing. Grams don't mean dilly squat to me. I don't know why people go. If you're in another country, you're probably used to grams and stuff. I am not a gram person. I'm seeing 15.1 ounces. And when I see, like, here's Air Raid, that's 1 pound, 3 ounces. I'll just get off this real quick. Ooh, the first, I got to drop something. Every time I do this, it's got to be something that falls over a little bit. And then let's see what he's at. Skydive, 1.32. I thought he'd be a little heavy because his backpack. Look at those backpacks. This cleans up so much nicer. Fireflight cleans up so much nicer in backpacks. If they had done it today, if they had done Air Raid and Skydive again today, I think they would have hopefully found a better way to clean up those backpacks. They are horrendous. This is horrendous as a backpack. Great figure, great solid figure. It feels, like I said, plenty of die casts, but not a very good. And of course, Silverbolt's way up there, 1.12 ounces, more closest to 2 pounds than any of them. And I love Silverbolt. When I first saw Silverbolt in the FansToys, I said, I'm getting him. No matter what, I was going to get him. I always liked Silverbolt and the look of him on the G1. And I always felt like that guy, when I saw those pictures, those renderings, and it's by far one of the best looking Transformers I've seen to that date. And that was like 2018 when he came through. But he cleans up so much nicer. You know, he cleans up so much nicer. It feels like it stays in place better than some of these other ones you have to keep. They're so heavy, you got to keep manipulating them. And I wish they could, you know, it's hard to take something back once you started. Maybe sometimes it's good to have everything done before you start selling everything. But, you know, the companies don't work like that. Well, at least not anymore. But it'd be good if they had done something like that so they can go back and maybe fix some of those backpacks on these earlier figures. But I'm just trying to get a gun in here and see how it pans out with him. If it doesn't take me too long. I don't like running my segments super long, but it's in there. I don't have the hands fully clasped around, but I like the gun. I know it splits apart. I'm not gonna do all that, but I do like the gun. I like those double barrel guns. And now here's the thing. We'll talk about the face real quick so I can get off this whole subject. Here is Zeta Toys Fireflight. There's two reasons why I still like these figures. One reason is I've said it before in other videos. They size up better until they do more of the G1 cars remaking. They size up better. I'm sure this guy has other faceplates, but look at this faceplate on this G1, on this Zeta. He's smiling. He has a less serious look like Fireflight should have. I don't know about all of them and all their looks, but I do remember him being very lightheaded and not staying focused, like they said on this packaging. And the hands, you know, here you see the articulation. It doesn't feel as good as the FansToys type figure, but I have no issues with these figures. And there's a soft ratchet here, and we're not going into articulation yet, but I have no issues with what Zeta did. I think they did a very, very good first rendition, even in the bot modes. I know some people won't agree. They didn't do so bad. They didn't do so bad in the bot modes. It doesn't feel like these, doesn't look like these, but they didn't do so bad in the bot mode. So, and they stand for the most part when you get, you know, stuff out there. And they clean up. It cleans up. It's not perfect. It's bigger, actually. This looks better cleaned up, but it does clean up a smidge. This is longer. The backpack on this is longer, but this size wells with the bots we have from G1 cars. Size is better. It's not so domineering tall over them like these tall figures here. But this one definitely looks better, more G1-ish, except for the smiley face. So anyway, we'll get into articulation and transformation here in a few minutes. I just had to show some of that. Keeping his counterpart here, coming to articulation and such. I'm keeping his counterpart nearby because I'm gonna do a little bit of test on him. I think his articulation is pretty decent. And I'm coming down to this Saturday. I don't think I'm gonna finish the rest of this video, which is very little left after this. And until probably the middle of next week, I gotta take a trip. So, but nonetheless, let's get into articulation. I know this guy is, of course, non-ratcheted around and elbow 90. You know, heads are, you know, up and not much down as usual. We know it doesn't have no waist, maybe a little bit of a waist turn, a little bit. And we know it's not gonna have no, you know, waist bend or whatever, because they didn't really, like I said, some of these molds may be a little outdated. It's 2018. This has been 6 years. 6 years. Whoever thought it was gonna take that long and still not complete? You know, whoever thought that? And out there's no ratchet, almost a full VD, and then here it is ratcheted forward, which is, I like hearing ratchets. It's not gonna go all the way back that way because of hindrances. I might be able to lift that up or maybe not. It doesn't bother me. I think it's a great looking figure, a great feeling figure, but it is lacking in articulation. It is lacking. And you don't hardly ever hear me saying that. You know, I usually pretty positive reviews, if not pretty honest reviews on figures. That's a little loose here on the swivel, on the thigh swivel, but you know, I know this guy's stand. I know it's got as long as it got that bend in so you can do those poses, you know, it's bending the bending the feet in, you're pretty good. You don't need them out. Down, it's not much down. Yeah, it's a little down here on the tip, and a little no real up. Yeah, it lacks in articulation, and it looks, to me, it's the best put together as far as tidying things up of all the aerial bots so far. And we've got Slingshot coming. He's probably going to be arm, so he's going to be very similar, much the same in those aspects. But this guy, no ratcheting here, no ratcheting out. It's 90 degrees pretty much here. Up, a little more down. Got more down in the head than, yeah, up and down. Up is probably equal, but down is definitely, and he's got the smiley face. And he does have a waist swivel. I might make some of you guys go, a better waist swivel, I should say. I make you guys go back, who doesn't have Zeta, might go back and get them. No, yeah, man, this thing has an ab crunch, man. It breaks the sculpt, and it turns it into going to R mode, but it can get an ab with a little ab crunch, a fake one anyway in there. And I'm not hearing a lot of ratchets. That's the thing that's only bad about these ratchets are out, and they're soft and they're good. Those are the type you want. They stop at many different places, so that's a good outward ratchet there. And it's a full VD. I'm gonna stop saying VD because I might be taking the wrong way. And I won't go further with that. And it doesn't go much back, kind of hindered like this. And it goes up pretty much no better than that. It does have ratchets on the knees, soft ratchets on the knees. And let's see, down here, yep, a little in, not as much as that one, but a little in on the foot swivel. Down, of course, and it's pretty much the same, as far as the articulations on the legs. So, except that this has ratchets when the legs are kicked up, this has ratchets when the legs are going out. I don't think you can go far wrong getting either. I really don't. Other than that, the build is not as, just like you have to keep readjusting the build at times, which doesn't bother me because I think for the most part, this is a solid bot. But readjusting the build, yeah, you have to do that. I don't have any standing figures here. I can get Prime down real quick. I wanted to show him with Optimus, at least, one of the co-creators of the aerial bots. And it just was good to, he's one of my favorite transform elements, and this cartoon shine, I call it, is one of my favorite bots. And he will never be going anywhere as far as I know. No matter how many primes they make FansToys, I don't think I'm going to get the FansToys one, but I've changed my mind before, like Soundwave, if you remember. But I think that we got enough primes. I don't see any reason to have a prime again. And then I bring the X-Transbots Ultra Magnus down to see how he towers above, because his nose cone is a little, about a ½ inch above Optimus's head. A little too big. To me, this guy is pretty much the right size, even though we know jets overall, like Starscream and the jets, are all going to be, if there's real life, they'll be much bigger than all of them. So yeah, I think that's a good size up of comparison. So we'll get to transformation and we'll finish up. So like I said, it may be well, to me, I won't get done for me for another 3 or 4 days, but either way, it'll be quick for you. I went on down that road. Okay, yeah, back. I know. Just looking at this guy, I can see that it has a pretty decent paint job. It looks really good, very lightweight. Yeah, overall, they did a pretty good job. Of course, this is Zeta's. This is the one I'm talking about, Zeta. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to pull that little, joke, I guess. I just felt like doing that. This is Zeta, and left is FansToys, right is Zeta, or Zeta, however you want to pronounce it. And I do like the Zeta version on this. I do like what Zeta did with these bots. And they don't look, well, we can get into the look, more into the look here in a second, but just a lot of similarities here based on their transformation. I really found FansToys to be actually a little better, more solid, and when it's put together right. You do have to be careful of how, there's some parts on this when you transform it that you do have to be careful of. You do have to make sure you slide these all the way out the way at one point. I don't have any extra pictures right now to show you, but to make sure that you have to make sure you slide, there's a lever that you open up in the legs, there's a white lever, and you have to, you push this in. I like the unique mechanism they use for the legs. You probably see on Paid for Life videos and stuff like that, you'll see how that mechanism works. But I wish I did take pictures when I was doing that. But I usually take pictures when there's a problem. There was really no problem. You just got to make sure you slide the legs all the way up into position right before the midsection, because you'll see some of the combiner part for Superion being exposed. You know, you just got to make sure that you push this up and use that lever on the inside to push the legs all the way up and get everything into place. I had to take this apart because really on the pictures, when I showed the last few pictures of the transformation, it really wasn't, you'll see this part kind of up a little bit. I might show another picture showing what I showed earlier, but now I straightened it up before I started recording again. And it went into place fine. So there was no real issues transforming this. It was actually more of a pleasure. I like the mechanism for the legs because you don't have to come on the outside. You actually push it in on the inside of the legs to collapse it around the leg and push it up. But it's very similar to this. Even how these extend, of course, this is a black extension. This is a red extension. Based on even the pick, you won't, this contrast is black here. Contrast is clear here on the Zeta. And I'm trying to bring my pick up to take a look at it. And really, when you look at these, they have the yellow, blue. You can't tell from Fireflight. Fireflight was not a very popular transformer. You have to really go look at the cartoon and just still pause it to see. You see a lot of similarities here of how they did this. The blue stripes and the yellow stripes on the wing. They both look pretty cartoon accurate. Actually, if I had to say anything look more cartoon accurate, it'd be because this is more rounded off. And here, this would be probably more cartoon accurate as far as the nose part of it. And then as far as the tail part of it, I'm looking at the picture now as I'm speaking. A little more white would be on the end here where they did it here. They did more white here on the end of the FansToys one. They didn't put the white here. And the wings look practically the same, different shades of blue, different shades of paint of red. This red is beautiful. And this red is still painted and it's still, like I said, Zeta did a good job with their aerial bots. They're just more lightweight. The bot modes are not as good as the bot modes for these, except I think these are a little more versatile. I think these have a little more, tiny bit more, if I said that earlier, tiny bit more versatility or mechanics or movement, especially in the head area. So yeah, I'll say that's pretty much what I got to say about that. I'm gonna get some comparisons down, and I really don't have a lot more to say about this. I think, we all know the general things that because of the age of the time that has gone by, we wish we saw in these that we didn't see because of more in the bot mode. But overall, beautiful, beautiful figure, and I'll get some comparisons down here in a second. Yeah, I readjusted this terrible FansToys fan 2 or 3 times to get this look of these. And of course, I'm gonna use the latest figure I got, which is a Scourge, and he's longer. Scourge's got a wider body for the most part, except for the wings over here, But I'm not showing you very good pics of him, but very good FansToys Scourge, except for the stand over here comparison. Then I got Takara's Thundercracker. And there is I think if I look at them like I should, this definitely is longer. Just a little bit. I'm not showing this quite right because it's kind of hard to do. But this is kind of taller. Yep, and the width, of course, is probably wider on. And I'm not going to show a lot of comparisons. I think that day is pretty much done, and but they look good together. The blue contrast of Thundercracker, and then here's Skywarp. I don't have Starscream or the other aerial bots transformed up, but when we get that stand from the combiner set, that's gonna be awesome. Everybody, I don't know if anybody's talked about that stand coming up from that's gonna be part of the aerial bot team. But you know what, you guys, that's an awesome idea to make. If that stands part of Superion's combined mode or is Superion himself, do you know that is a great idea. I thought that was a heck of an idea. This is Deformation Space Skywarp. And I think that was a great idea to do that. And that was brilliant on FansToys' part. I hope it pays off, because that is a great way to store it. If you don't want to combine Superion, you want your Superion to be the Zeta version, and you just have all the bots in the plane modes. I'm not a 2 bot person buyer, one for bot mode, one for plane mode. I don't do that kind of stuff. Plus, I don't have the money, or I won't even make myself have the money to do that kind of stuff, because I'm just not going to do it. But it is a great idea. So I look forward for the last member to show up. And I think this is, I said something earlier, probably wrong. Yeah, there's only one more member of the Stunticon team too. They got theirs all out, all except Dead End. So yeah, we have some stuff coming up to look forward to. So you guys, thanks for watching. This is fun to do. Fireflight's a great figure. Nothing more or less than any of the others. Probably, as far as the weight is concerned, a little bit less. As far as look and how it cleans up, a little bit better. So you guys, you take care. You guys have a great week. Be blessed. See ya.